But do you happen to know the 5 fundamental freedoms of the First Amendment?
What do you mean by that? You mean
The 5 basic rights that are covered under the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States.
But do you happen to know the 5 fundamental freedoms of the First Amendment?
The 5 basic rights covered and protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution. And if you don't know it, will you make a good faith effort to learn it?
You know, like, what are you really training on? Brute force and compliance? Or can we get some of that, you know, some of the natural born rights of the people?
Hey everybody, Rights Crispy here. I recently took my family on a trip to Colorado, and we were joined by a really good friend's San Joaquin Valley Transparency and his family, including his son San Joaquin Jr. We went all over the state with very little downtime, and I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun going on this adventure with these guys with all these different perspectives, but we still managed to find some time to put in some work. We saw this traffic stop and decided to do a cop watch. And San Joaquin Jr. is not only a good man, but he's a great father. He's literally raising a champion. Pay attention to the great conversation that he has with one of these cops. I'm gonna go check out this cop watch. I'm here with San Joaquin Jr. and San Joaquin Valley Transparency. I'll come around. Thanks.
Absolutely.
How long have you worked for
I'm
the
Finn.
Highway Patrol?
So I've been with the State Patrol for a little over a year now.
A little over a year. You look pretty young, man. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
In my 20s.
20?
So.
Do you like your job?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love this job.
Do you have your BWC activated?
Of course.
All right.
Yep. Anytime I'm. So,
Cool.
What great thing about these cars is the lights, when you turn them on, automatically activates
Good.
dash cams and body cams.
Perfect.
So-
That's wonderful.
Yep.
You let her go with a warning then?
That's up for her to discuss. That's not something I can really discuss.
No, if it's in our neighborhood, it's public record, but that's okay if you don't want to tell me. But you've had a great attitude so far.
Yeah.
We're just on vacation with our families. We
Nice. Where are you guys from?
thought I'm from the 70s, but no, I'm from Florida. You guys are from the other side of the country.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I ask every officer that I encounter the same question, and I'm trying to figure out the patterns. Something you can answer, it's non-political, stuff like that. But do you happen to know the 5 fundamental freedoms of the First Amendment?
What do you mean by that? You mean
The
what
5 basic rights that are covered under the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. And if you don't know the answer, would you make a good faith effort to know it?
I was going to say, I can give you like the rough stuff. I
Yeah,
might not
yeah.
know it verbatim.
No, you don't have to know verbatim.
Yeah, so it's going to be just your freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom for self-expression, protest, which is kind of the same thing.
Seek redress from your government.
Yeah.
For
Sorry,
your
I'm
grievances.
having a bit of a brain
No, that's
fart
all
on
right.
this right now.
And like what we're doing, assembly, you got them almost all.
So it's religion, press, speech, assembly, and petition.
Okay.
And protest kind of falls under all of that and stuff, under assembly or speech.
And press, you
What
don't
guys
have
are
to
doing,
be.
completely legal. I don't.
Yeah.
My biggest concern when I was watching you guys was making sure you guys didn't fall in
Yeah.
the roadway,
Right.
and just making sure you guys were safe. And
Yeah, thanks, man.
3 guys surround, kind of one over here, one over there, one over there. Puts me on a little bit of edge, but I know what you guys are doing. It's
we
fully
give
legal.
you enough room to react if we did have a bad intention, but we don't.
Exactly. I could tell just by the way you guys handle yourself, you weren't going to cause any kind of issues for me. So I was
Right on.
worried about you guys not falling in or just getting in the roadway. So
Right on.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, staying frosty, man, that's part of the job.
Exactly.
You assess the threat, and there is none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever see like police interaction videos like on YouTube and stuff?
I've seen a few. Yeah.
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 You follow any channels?
Nope.
My voice don't sound familiar.
No, it does not.
Man, I definitely appreciate your good attitude.
Yeah.
Answering some questions. That question that I asked you, I kind of began asking cops that question over and over again. And I found a pattern that cops don't really seem to know them all. And you guys swear an oath to the Constitution
Absolutely.
to get that job. So I believe it's important that you guys actually know this verbatim. You know what I mean? And I hopefully, when I'm done with my work here, hopefully we can have every cop remember these fundamental freedoms of the people, because we have a lot of stuff going on, red versus blue, left versus right, and everybody's pointing the finger at each other. But I think once people start to begin to understand their own natural rights, they'll begin to respect other people's natural rights. You know, and it just
Freedom.
seems like, you know, I began to see this pattern of cops not really knowing the First Amendment, at least the First Amendment.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of troublesome, man. And I hope next time I talk to you, if I ever see you again,
Right.
or if you find my channel, well, I'm pretty sure you will. I hope next time I talk to you, you can state all 5 like that, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Try.
and tell your buddies.
Yeah.
Let them know, you know, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and you know, a lot of agencies push to get IDs. Let's get their IDs and run them and find out if we have a criminal or something. And if the people don't know that it's their Fourth Amendment right to be secure in their papers, and they don't have to give you an ID unless they committed a crime,
Right.
you know, it gets taken advantage of sometimes. You catch bad guys fair and square, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't violate rights.
No reason to.
Right on, brother.
And so in California, the Highway Patrol is supposed to be the most
Delta.
professional agency out there. Is that how it is out here in Colorado as well? Like,
It's,
you guys consider yourself a more professional agency, or
I would say overall, yes.
Try to stand
Every
high
agency is different. We all,
Right.
I would say we care a lot about the small things where a lot of people, especially in smaller agencies, might not. How's it going, man?
Good, how are you guys doing?
Oh, man, we're just talking.
It's called the SWAT team.
I was gonna say, that looks like a lot more
Right.
comfortable uniform than what I got.
Right?
Remember when we used to have SWAT? Now everybody's SWAT. You know, I understand it
We have
gets
a SWAT
scarier,
out.
but
I think Junction's the closest place that has a SWAT.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Mason
Montrose
County.
is trying to start theirs, but that's still a few years out.
could have fooled me.
Montrose County has one.
Yeah, Montrose, they've been trying to get one going, so.
you look pretty young too, man. How long have you been working out there? Here in Portland?
I've been with Delta for about 1.5 years, and then I did 1 year in Olathe prior to that.
Do you have your BWC activated?
Yes, sir.
All right. And can I ask you both a question? Do you have anything interesting on those BWCs in the last month that I can do a records request and get? Any?
I can give you the form to do any kind of records request.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything interesting in the last 6 months, really.
Okay.
But you can absolutely do a records request. I have the forms in here if you'd like. It's something you have to. Unfortunately, the state's kind of old school, so everything goes through the mail.
Right.
They send everything back. So
Cool.
Machete?
Moschetti, yes, sir.
Moschetti.
Okay. Italian?
Yes, sir.
Parla italiano. Di dove in Italia?
I don't
Oh, you don't speak.
This guy speaks 100 languages, man.
I could get myself a hotel and a meal in most countries. That's about it.
hey, that's all you need.
Right?
I asked him a question a little bit ago, and I ask every officer that I encounter the same question. You can't answer it. It's not political or nothing like that. But do you happen to know the 5 fundamental freedoms of the First Amendment?
The 5 basic rights covered and protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution. And if you don't know it, will you make a good faith effort to learn it?
Yeah, your freedom of speech, freedom of press. Those are the basic ones I know off the top of my head.
Religion, peaceably assemble, and to seek redress for your grievances. And you wrestle?
Yes, sir.
I saw that cauliflower here. This guy is a beast. Right here.
Yeah, I train Jiu-Jitsu too. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Cool.
You see?
We got to be able to defend ourselves. You guys are miles away from being able to help somebody sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think
Freedom.
that Jiu-Jitsu has helped you out with your work and stuff like that?
I do. I really do.
Discipline-wise,
So, yeah, right. The discipline in martial arts is a great thing. I think, you know, I believe in it so much. My kids are gonna be doing it. So just being able to know how to control yourself. You know, I don't get all amped up. Most of the people we honestly fight with are intoxicated.
Right.
So it's not like we
It's
go
not a
somewhere and
challenge.
It's just like a straight brawl type thing. It's just someone intoxicated, just all amped up for the night. So if you can stay calm and you're not worried about having to like amp yourself up to try to hurt someone, you
Nice.
know, it's beneficial. Jiu-Jitsu, the ground game side of it, Jiu-Jitsu is primarily like a ground defense,
yeah.
right?
That's where
Us-
everything always ends up anyway.
Us in our attire, you know, with all our equipment stuff, isn't always good for us. Specifically, right? I'm not going to sit and pull guard in my
Right.
Jiu-Jitsu stuff. But right, like takedowns, And then being able to control the arms, you know, Kimura is a big thing I use quite a bit. Just being able to put someone's arm behind their back without harming them and doing it super efficiently to where I can hold them in a position until my backup comes if I'm by myself.
Right.
You know, and then just having that cardio and everything to where
it also keeps you humble as well in certain situations?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you have a 140-pound guy that whoops me like nothing, you know, on a regular basis, that's very humbling.
Females are some of the scariest people.
Right?
Yeah, females are really hard for us to handcuff a lot of times when they're on a fight. They're super bendy and
They get that wild rage and
and
strength.
you don't want to like hurt anyone, right?
Right,
But,
right.
I mean,
good answers,
it comes to a
man.
point where we have to get handcuffs on them.
Do you believe that it would benefit this country if all cops had to maybe at least get a blue belt? You know what I mean? Or have at least some kind of training in jiu-jitsu?
Right, so I'm a little biased towards that because I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I actively compete in IBJJF.
He wants his kids to do it, so of course.
I haven't competed in IBJJF yet, but I just got my blue belt 2 months ago.
Nice, congratulations.
But he said he's going to get his kids into it.
My son wrestles. He just won our first national title.
Number 2 in the
Awesome.
country.
Congratulations. Yeah, so when I transferred to this department, I've been really interested in becoming a defensive tactics instructor, and that was one of the things that I was able to find is out east in like the Virginia, Chicago areas, they actually do that, where you go to the academy and you become a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and then you have to maintain at least the blue belt through your law enforcement career.
And we are fair. We're going to put this on our channels and let the stars shine. Snowflakes will melt in some other agency, and they'll see you as a shining example of how to behave with the citizens. Right.
You know, given this day and age we don't know you guys.
Right.
Obviously, you guys are out here just expressing.
And we
your
don't know
rights.
you, and you guys are armed, so you got to admit, it's risk on
Right.
both sides.
But
Freedom is scary.
That's right. We bring a gun everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So we have 3 people circling us, and with the ambush type things that have been happening to law enforcement,
Right,
it's
yeah, that's
unfortunate, but you know, we do have to stay aware.
Stay safe, of
and
course, yeah.
It's not a big deal for us to ask for an extra officer a lot of times.
Right on.
Once we figure out what's going on, we're able to see like, oh,
Yeah.
I just have some questions. And
Are you guys
Yeah,
ever
that's
going to
it.
work to get your chevrons?
Maybe.
I know. I heard you say that you would like to become maybe a training officer.
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe this will help, man.
I know the next step for me in my personal career is becoming a field training officer. So training our new employees that come
In my
on.
hometown, in Bakersfield, California, I stumbled upon 2 training officers, and I asked them if they knew the First Amendment, and they didn't know it. And I was like, "Whoa, man! This tells a bigger story, you know? Like, what are you really training on? Enforcing compliance, or can we get some of that, you know, some of the natural born rights of the people, get that into some of the training as well?"
So just in perspective, I know for me personally, when I first started in law enforcement, I was big at trying to know, you know, everyone's civil rights.
Yes, sir.
Initially, right?
Right on.
Now it's more of like I don't essentially look over them every day. That's why I can't tell you verbatim.
Right.
But I can tell you when someone is doing something they shouldn't be doing and affecting us to where I have to take their civil rights away.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what our job is, right? We
Yep.
do a lot of paperwork, and our reports and everything are explaining why we take someone's civil rights away.
Right.
You know, we do a traffic stop, someone's not free to go. We are detaining them for that stop.
Because like you said, you know, the ambushes that happen on law enforcement and everything, there's also stuff going on the other way around. Some psychopaths want that badge and want to treat it like a crown. And they'll go out and they'll commit atrocious crimes against people. That's why we have to do this, and these don't get lost or destroyed. You know what I mean?
Right.
When stuff like that happens. So,
You guys have a way better attitude than those police over there.
in Florida, I get such disdain from asking that First Amendment question. They're like, I don't have to answer you. Yeah, well, come on, man, just make an effort.
I mean, we're all
You know?
human.
Right.
I think part of that is just when you're working homicide after rape, after
Of course,
assault,
it rubs off. Yeah.
you lose, unfortunately, some people just lose their humanity.
Yeah.
Or it's just a short day because, okay, I just saw a kid in a crash, you know. Yeah.
So that's what we like to do. We like to send videos to the command staff to correct behaviors or correct procedures and just make positive changes.
Yeah.
You know?
Some guys won't show good interactions like this. They just like the craziness, right? I've always put the good and the bad, you know. Because
Same.
For instance, I want other cops to see you guys and your attitude, and I want you guys.
You have
You guys' channel, bro.
Rights
Lead
Crispy.
by example.
Rights,
Right, crispy.
yeah. CRISPY. Do you have a card?
Yeah, I do.
Shining
Cool.
right now, man.
With a C or a K?
C, spelled correctly, yeah. Yeah, and don't worry, I'm already on a list. And any American who is not on the list should be ashamed of themselves by now.
I just wanted to look it up myself.
Yeah, please do. And any questions, comments, agreements, or disagreements are all welcome. You say, why the hell did you go to the DMV? Why are you recording in there? Because they sold our private info for $77 million in 2017 in Florida. And if I go in there, they're going to think twice about doing it that day. You know.
UUIN?
Yeah, Valley Transparency. I know it's long, man. If you just type in San Joaquin, you'll find my channel on YouTube.
Cool. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. We also put in commendations when we get good interactions like this. So I hope it helps you.
Yeah, I actually watched a lot of these First Amendment videos
Yeah.
just to see. I'm a newer officer, right? So
Yeah, dude.
all those type of
So many
videos
examples.
help me out and how to handle myself, and because it's a lot, right? We go
Yeah.
through a 16-week academy, and then we come out here on the road, and we have a book of laws this big.
Yeah.
Kind of threats.
And 90% is traffic code, isn't it?
That's my specialty.
Right.
There's a big section of that, right? So it's a lot. Being a cop is overwhelming at times.
Yeah. Well, you'll see on our channels there are many examples and many warnings. Decide which one is which. You'll see who not to act like and who to emulate. I hope people understand this is the way to be. This is good community policing, man. That's what we got to get back to. No more broken windows.
I want you guys to read the comments when you watch this video, and see, you know, how the people, you know,
They'll
react
appreciate this, man.
when you guys have this type of attitude. You guys talk to us. You know, you're not trying to, you know, violate our rights. You're not trying to look down upon us or nothing like that. You guys are very respectful.
Put her there, man.
Yeah, honestly, I appreciate that.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
I appreciate
Now, do you have any hand sanitizer?
I do.
I know.
Appreciate it.
We took that same oath you did, and there's no expiration date on it, man.
Absolutely.
All right, fellas.
Right on.
Stay safe.
Yeah, you too.
And I
Safe
appreciate
travels.
you guys.
Enjoy your
Right
guys'
on.
Thank you,
vacation.
guys.
Thanks. Give more breaks.
I love this job too much.
Right on, that was cool.
And that's it, folks. You see, they weren't rude. To me, this is just a good video as, you know, not act stupid with us. I think it's important for cops like this to shine so that other cops can see these types of videos and know how to act towards the people. If you're a cop and you're watching this, that's,
Yes.
with that being said, shout out Rights Crispy, shout out Johnson Jr.
Sorry, Charlie.